Welcome everyone to the Church of Christ Consciousness. Today is a special day. We have Tim Edwards to play some special music for us as my words, so I apologize, as he strums the violin in the most beautiful way. And so thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Welcome again to all those who are here, those who are watching, and those who will watch later this week. Today is a special day, and thank you for being here at the Church of Christ Consciousness for those who are ready to live the truth of their being. Bobby?
Opening prayer. The energy of love is within us and is us. Whole and complete is the I am that we are. We awaken to the truth of our being. We will this be done within and without. May we come to recognize that we receive all that we give. We know that we have forgiven ourselves when we forgive others of all grievances held within our minds. May we not be led into temptation by the voice of separation, but instead may we transcend all illusions. For ours is the power, peace, and love of Christ consciousness found within each of us, who is but the perfect extension of the one mind and heart that is shared by all and is our birthright as the holy extensions of love itself. Our affirmation of faith. We believe in one God, the author and energy of all life, whose love sustains the universe and all things found within it. Our 5 Christ principles. 1. There is only one energy in the universe. That energy is love, at all times active in everyone, everywhere. 2. We are the divine energy of love, and that energy is found throughout the universe and in all things, whether seen or unseen. 3. We create our experiences by what we choose to think, feel, and believe, thereby establishing our responsibility for our own choices. 4. Through opening our heart center, we connect with the energy of love and bring out the Christ within us. 5. We express our desire to be of service when we live and demonstrate Christ consciousness in all our affairs.
Wow. Wow. Hello again, everyone, and welcome again to the Church of Christ Consciousness. I'm going to speak about something today that when you first hear it, you're going to be, huh? It's called income versus outcome. And by the way, the income has nothing to do with money. So let's get that out of the way. We're not talking about income as in financial or money. All right? Most people don't live in income. They live in the outcome, attached to what's going on out here. Always attached to some circumstance or to people or to a person or to something that's happening out here. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but if you live your life in outcome, then you've missed your life. You've missed all of it. Because life really happens in here, in the income. And here's what most people don't realize. The word income, we always think of money, of working and pulling money in. That's when we think of income, everyone immediately assumes that's what is being talked about. But the word income actually means to enter or entrance. And the word entrance means accession, which, here's the beauty of it, means to join together with, to become joined. Jesus told us that heaven is within. The Spirit is within us. If we live our life out here, then we're missing and are not taking the opportunity to join with the Spirit that is within each and every one of us. When we live in outcome, we're not listening to the Spirit, to that inner voice that guides and directs us perfectly at all times. Rather, we're simply following the dictates of what the world demands of us. And again, that's not living. That's reacting. So when you live in outcome, you will always react. You will react to whatever's going on externally. But when you live income joined with, now you are capable of responding to every situation. Reaction is always conflict. So if you live an outcome-sourced life, you're always going from one conflict to the next. Always. If you live an income-based life, you stay in love. Always. That doesn't mean that the world out here might not be falling apart. If it does, you stay in peace and in love. And you will be guided and directed as to what to do and how to move through it without ending up in conflict. That's the whole purpose. An income-based life is a life that is filled with abundance. So are you beginning to hear the financial part of it? Which has nothing to do with financial, but you live in abundance. Things just will happen. The bill that you didn't think was going to get paid will be paid. Because instead of living an outcome-based life, which is you trying to direct everything out here to get what you want, when you live an income-based life, you are listening to the Spirit and following it, and everything will come. Some people call it the law of attraction. To attract means to pull something out here in. We don't attract. It comes from within and goes out. So when we are listening, truly listening to that voice within us, guys, we will hear everything that we need to hear when we need to hear it. Now I'm going to share a story. I knew that this is what I was going to be discussing today. I've known it for a week. And I kept asking, okay, universe, God, somebody help me, because I'm not really sure how to, how to discuss it and bring it about with something that's relevant in my life today. Well, that was the wrong thing to ask, because as soon as I asked, I received. And here's what I received. All right. As y'all know, I'm blind. So Miss Penny had picked me up yesterday and brought up, the two of us came up here to get ready for today. And she took me home, and I used my door key. I won't put my hand on it because of this morning. Yeah, my door key. I go in, and I always have a routine because I can't see. I put everything back where it goes so that the next time I need it, I know exactly where it is. Well, this morning I'm getting ready. I place everything, waiting for Miss Penny to come and get me. And you know what I couldn't find? My door keys. I'm like, where are my door keys? Because I remember coming home. I didn't go out again, but where were they? I always carry a backpack, and there's a little zipper at the top that I place my key in, so I can always retrieve it very quickly. I did not realize that one of the large, was right there. The zipper was right there. So I opened it, put my key in it, and it fell to the bottom of the book bag with a whole lot of other stuff. So I'm panicked this morning. And I recognized right then I was living in the outcome. I was attached to the keys, not finding them. How was I going to get my door locked? Yada, yada, yada. We've all done it. Well, try it blind. See the little there's a little added oops, because I can't see to see if I've dropped them or something has happened to them. Well, I went and sat down and said, okay, I can live in the problem, live out in the outcome, what is it, whatever, trying to stay attached to the keys, finding them and all that stuff. Or I can sit quietly and say, I do not know where my keys are. That's okay. I can be at peace and know that my day can go forward and all be well. And in that moment, I heard what I call that voice, that quiet voice within. Take your book back. Go through each thing. So I started with every zipper, and it has seven compartments. I pulled everything out, made sure I got to what would be the last one, literally the last compartment, pulled everything out, put my hand in it, but still didn't feel the keys. Well, I picked the book back up to put everything back in it. When I did, I heard rattle, rattle. I went, that's not my keys. So I put my hand down. There they were, buried underneath the way that the bag had set. They were actually, nothing was in that compartment, but the keys had fallen down within the bag itself. And I knew right then, this is it. This is living an income life. I didn't beat myself up for not having them. I didn't, or thinking that I had lost them. I would have done that. Beat myself up profusely for losing something or misplacing something. Bullying my own self. No. I was actually able to stay at peace knowing that whatever happened, the day would turn out beautifully and all would be well. And there were my keys. And I thought, wow, what a simple story on just living inwardly instead of being so focused on the outside and the outer world. Everything begins within us. There's an old saying that goes, as above, so below, as within, so without. As above, heaven. Heaven is within us. Turn within. Don't try to fix it yourself. Turn within. There's the help that you need. Then you will find everything will ultimately fall in place. Maybe not as you thought that it would. I'll repeat that. Doesn't necessarily fall into place as we think it's going to. But it's not my job to tell God how to do it. My job is just to simply listen. God did not go on vacation and leave me in charge. Period. Nor has he done that with any of us. And when we try to tell God how to do something, usually God laughs at us, and that's when we end up in trouble. Just be quiet, stay at peace, turn within, ask, and remember Jesus said, ye shall receive. The question is, are you listening? If you're out here, you're not listening to anything. You cannot hear the voice if your mind and your entire attention and your focus is all placed down here. But if you can hear the voice within, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt, all things work for your highest good. All things. And that leads us to trust. So when we live an income-based life, we trust the process. We trust the universe. We trust God. We trust ourselves. If we're living an outcome-based life, there is no trust. That's why it's all in conflict and in vain. So today, I simply ask, how have you been living? An income-based life? A life filled with joy, peace, and abundance? or one focused on the outcome, where there's only conflict, misery, and nothing seems to work right. You have a choice. So I hope today that you will make the choice to always turn within, to live an income-based life, to join with that spirit, the spirit of God that lives within each one of us. And in that moment, you will know peace because you will know love. So thank you, everyone. And now, Tim will play again for us.
I've so enjoyed the fall weather that I've kept my windows open in my apartment. So all the humidity has gone to my window instrument. So when I come into air conditioning, it's like, what is this? I've never seen something like this. Thank you, Eddie, for your message. It was so apropos to the music that I'm playing today. The first piece I played for you should probably know was the Wind Beneath My Wings.
Yes.
And just your whole concept of incoming was just really about that spirit that you just, if you let in, it will sort of take you to where you need to be. Just let it happen. So I was grateful for that message. And also because the next piece I'm going to play is really about, we have entered sort of the holiday music season, and we've just passed Halloween and All Saints Day, and now we're coming up to Thanksgiving, and then we'll eventually go into Christmas. And so that was all, again, with your message about sort of togetherness and being together with each other. So I decided, I play for you, We Gather Together.
Let's take just a moment to reflect on what we've heard today and get comfortable. And if we close our eyes and think, let's breathe in, I am, and breathe out. Breathe in, I am, and breathe out. Breathe in, I am, and breathe out. As we sit here and reflect on our thoughts and feelings today, what we allow in and what we put out, let's begin to notice our thoughts. Are our thoughts based on insecurity and needing someone else's validation, or to make sure our thoughts match others? Are our thoughts fully creative, where we get that spark of energy and the desire to move forward with our thoughts? Ask yourself, am I the kind of person that no matter what I was asked to do by Spirit, I would willingly do it? You can think of people who have stood on a street corner with a sign, reminding people of God and His love. You can think of someone like Eckhart Tolle, who has sat on a park bench for years and meditated on enlightenment, in an enlightened state. Sit here, if you will, and place yourself in them now, and just feel energy that has been built up today by the music and by the mutual love shared together. Feel it in the now. Don't let your thought go to the past or to the future. Just be with love now. As we move forward in our week this week, with every thought that we have, every time we want to speak, let's just pause for a moment and ask ourselves, is this coming from the inside out? Or am I seeking something from the outside to validate you? Let's go in peace and learn to love now. Thank you for being with us. And if you'd like to know more about us, please check us out at ulchurchofchristconsciousness.com or ulchurchofchristconsciousness.org. And
Thank you again, Tim, for that beautiful music. Wow. And thank you to each one of you for being here, and for y'all who are watching, and to those who will watch later this week. Please join us again next week at the same time, as we will continue our uplifting messages, especially as we now go into the season, the holiday season, so that we can remain love, peace, and joy. Until next time, have a good one.